Hello, everyone. Welcome to Development Palates. I'm Aaron Loomis, and with me, as always, is Jiunn Liu. How you doing, Jiunn?
Good.
So today was day 4 of IPCPR 2017. The day starts 9 a.m., runs until 1 p.m. So it's kind of a short day. It's more of a catch-up day for us. Making sure we get the people that either we were able to take pictures in the booth in previous days, but didn't get a chance to talk to somebody, or just, companies that we haven't had a chance to get because they were too busy, or that we had appointments with today. So it's the lightest day of the show. A lot of people go home, either during the afternoon on the third day or after the third day. So even lots of the reps and people within the companies leave. So it's really, empty on the show floor for most of the day.
But the good thing is, usually on this last day for us media folks, it's probably one of our better chances of kind of catching folks on their last, the last day on the way out kind of a thing, and just catching up with them. So
yeah, exactly. So we were able to get some of that done. So the first booth we hit up today was actually it was in Mombacho, but we just went over to say hi to Melanika because we had dinner with them last night. Just wanted to thank them for that. We posted a review today for the guy at Torpedo, so just wanted to kind of say hi to them real fast. But really what we hit was we hit the Crown Heads booth. We didn't talk to anybody. They were still pretty busy. They're one of those brands that is busy all the time. But we wanted to go in and just take some shots of some of the products that they had in there. They have announced quite a few things this year. Drumstick 2017, Angel Anvil 2017, things like that. What they really kind of had in the booth was 4Kicks Maduro. So we took some pictures of that. They also had the Luminosa in there and some of the kind of the core brands that they have had for a few years in there as well. So
seems like within some of the new stuff, the main focus, which makes total sense, is continuation and of their core lines.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm sure lots of people are looking forward to the 4Kicks Maduro. 4Kicks was a pretty popular release a few years back, so I think a lot of people are trying that. After Crown Heads, we hit up Falto. Todd Wright over there. He's a really nice guy. Kind of chatting about the show itself, traffic, sales, all that kind of stuff. He was kind of very upfront in that it was, worse than last year in regards to both attendance and sales and things like that. So a very different take than what a lot of others had mentioned. But I think more of an honest opinion. I know most people aren't going to tell you that the sales aren't doing what they thought they were going to do, and it's not necessarily an issue that the brand is having. It could just be because of the who or who didn't show up to the trade show in regards to retailers, who was buying and who wasn't buying. So
what most of the feedback, the unanimous feedback we got from the brand owners and manufacturers was that attendance is down, less tire kickers, people coming in,
right,
just beating around the bush, just ask for free samples, just tire kickers. As a result of less of that population, the people that did come in were more interested in serious buyers.
right.
But when we went to Falto, it was, very different message. It was attendance down, percentage was down, just don't even know. Hopefully break even for the show.
Right. They were featuring a cigar, the El Procer. So we got some samples of that we're looking forward to doing a review on. But some other plans for things coming out next year for them as well. After Falto, we went over to Alec Bradley. Talked to John from Lipson over there. Very generous at this time. Took us around the booth, showed us the new products that they're coming out with. Black Market Esteli, which is brand new this year. There's been various iterations of the Black Market over the years. So this is a new one. and then also the Prensado Lost Art. So Prensado was #1 in Cigar Aficionado. What year was it? Was it 2013, 14, somewhere around there?
That was earlier than that.
Okay,
but it's definitely been like a few years,
yeah,
2-3 years minimum, I would say.
Yeah. So this is a new line under the Prensado umbrella. So we're looking forward to trying that as well. Something they're also doing is called the Black Market Punk, which is it's a 4-pack of cigars. It's basically I think the original Black Market blend, but in a real small vitola. So
quick 30-minute, 25 to 30 minutes.
Yeah, I don't want to say it's like any, it's similar to what Drew Estate is doing with a lot of their lines, where they put those in the tins. I don't want to say it's like the same thing, but it's that type of a format where you kind of you get a multi-pack of some of the smaller vitola of an existing line. So for those that want a quick smoke, or live in climates in the wintertime where it's they can't hang out outside for an hour or two, this is something that might work out for them. And something they already enjoy the line, probably a no-brainer for them. And also they're doing some 10 count boxes for a few different lines. I think that he said it's kind of a holiday type thing that they're going to do.
Right.
So kind of more closer to the end of the year, that kind of packaging will come out. Just because it's they got some feedback from some of the retailers that would be a good way, for gifts and things like that. It makes it a little bit more palatable in price regard, instead of buying a 20 count box, 10 count box.
And plus it's festive, so you play into that festive nature.
Exactly.
And driving that marketing aspect of it.
Yep. Also talk to them about how last year they didn't have any new cigars that they were showcasing. So last year was kind of I don't want to stagnant's not the right word, but they it was just a point where they were really, the FDA news came out. They really were they took that time to plan ahead for what they wanted to do, leading up to it. So they, they're one of the companies that created a bunch of new brands ahead of that August 8th deadline, so that they can have a lot of stuff to be able to release as time goes on, if kind of that FDA worst case scenario happens. So there's lots of stuff in the pipeline for Alec Bradley. So as next year and as years progress, there's they have a lot of stuff that's ready to go. After Alec Bradley, we went over and talked to Robert Holt from Southern Draw. We had gone over there day 1, day 2, talked to his wife Sharon, as well as some of the team over there, took all the pictures and things like that. But we had actually set up an appointment with Robert to be able to sit down with him, just to have a chance to talk. Every time we went by that booth, it was packed. He was always sitting down with 2 or 3 people at a time, talking about the brand and things like that. Robert's, he's very passionate about his brand and doing things the right way, making sure he gets out the message for the brand, and making sure that his team is all on the same page in regarding to discuss that with retailers, consumers, things like that, so that everybody is sharing the same message. Everybody's on the same page.
So it's in a very evangelistic, mission-based company. His the positivity side, the faith side of things. Also within the booth, everything was organic, right? The quote unquote staff that was there, i.e. the folks that was at the booth with him, was all his family members.
Right. Family and friends.
Yeah, family and friends, good family and friends. So it was really cool. Typically when we sit down with a brand owner, manufacturer, it's like, hey, let's go down the assembly line of what's new. Right. There's nothing wrong with that, because that we're very interested in that. But what's really neat about Robert on this round of IPCPR was really giving that message, what Southern Draw is, what it is, giving props to AJ for partnering with him, even from back in the day when AJ was predominantly with Cigar International, to now where AJ is a household name, basically. Right. And to still be able to collaborate with AJ and he's still very blessed by that. So really cool, I thought.
Yeah, and Robert talked a lot about how process driven he is, and how he's putting that all into the brand, and working with AJ to make sure that he can kind of create those processes with you know, a planned growth pattern, so that he knows what his growth level is, and that he can just time out when things happen.
Right.
And that way he's not like kind of on the fly working with AJ in regards to production and how things are going to work, and then with packaging and all that stuff. He just kind of has a, you know, he knows what his growth rate is, and he's just setting the schedule based on that. And it's kind of just, you know, kind of a, you know, put that in place and then just kind of follow the plan and then let that all go.
The man's got a vision and he executes.
Yep. And we didn't talk about any of the specific lines. Like there was no. It was not, you know, it wasn't a sales pitch, you know, none of that. It was, we were just talking the brand, the cigar industry, his methodology, his partnership with AJ, all that. So there was no line discussion, and that was okay with us because we had already kind of had those discussions with Sharon and the rest of the team over there. So it was, you know, just a time to sit down and chat, which we really appreciate that Robert did that with us. After Southern Draw, we went over and saw Steve Saka at Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust. Kind of similar kind of setup over there. You know, we just sat down with him and we didn't talk, you know, specific cigars. We had already gone over there on the first day, took our pictures, talked to Stace Berkland about the brands, and talked to his Steve's son John about the brands. So we had already kind of gotten that out of the way, but we really just sat down with Steve for like, you know, 30 to 40 minutes and talked the trade show, industry, sales, all that kind of stuff.
The convention, the location, booth setup. Booth setup in the sense of booth location, rather, is more specific. And his take on things. Steve, as you guys all know, absolutely has no issue sharing his opinions. So it's always really interesting to talk to that guy, right? Because he doesn't give you the like corporate speech. He'll give it to you like down and dirty what he really thinks about stuff. So I thought it's always interesting, especially on a last day where energy's kind of low and we've been having you like 3 hours of sleep the last couple of nights. Because we're out there having fun. It's not like because we're here doing work or whatever. So really good spin to monotony.
He has some interesting ideas on ways to, you know, change up the trade show to, you know, kind of get things back to where it's actually more productive, lower cost. So it was very interesting hearing his opinions on, you know, different ways to maybe make that happen. So we might talk about that a little bit more on the recap show that we do on Tuesday with the rest of the guys. But I thought it was interesting. I think it would be very interesting to do it and try it and see what happens. But you'd have to get the feedback from the retailers, obviously, and the rest of the manufacturers to see what they think about it, because it would be a huge change to the way it's done now. So there'd be, you know, it's not like they could discuss. I don't think they could discuss it and make that happen next year. It would probably be like 2 or 3 years down the line before something like that could actually happen. But that was really the boost that we hit in regards to ones that we needed to follow up on that we hadn't really gotten the complete stories that we wanted to take care of. But after that, it was kind of just kind of wrapping up some loose ends with some other companies. We went over to Crux, was talking to Casey Hogan, Jeff Hogan, the rest of the team over there. You got some thoughts on what we were doing over there?
So I think we mentioned this on the earlier recap where they have this banner because so within our 2016 cigars of the year, Aaron and I both did separate lists because, you know, we have different palates and whatnot. We don't do like a consensus or any of that stuff. So Aaron gave the 2016 Crux IPCPR Limitada his #1 cigar of the year. So on the banner, it says that in addition to, like, you know, Coupe, accolades like Half Wheel, etc. So I was telling Casey, I was like, you know, I'd like to be on that list someday. And then we're just bullshit around, and then Aaron and I were BS around. We're like saying, you know, we should give out like BS awards next year. So I told Casey I was gonna give him the #1 cigar mouthfeel of the year. So I'll say like #1 mouthfeel of the year, Casey of Crux. And then we'll do like #1 best triple cap of the year.
Things like that. So
But it was really fun, you know, to hang Casey. The entire Crux crew is really approachable. You know, they don't let the accolades get into their heads, and they think that, you know, they're top notch and cream of the crop. They still strive very hard to work, and you could tell within the whole team. I mean, they're there to get it. And they're fun to hang out with.
Yep, absolutely. And then after that, we went over to the Espinosa booth again. Kind of said our goodbyes to the team over there. Hector, Fernando, Eric Jr., Eric, you know, protocol guys, the guys from Moya Ruiz, Tim Wong. So those are great guys. We hung out with them multiple times throughout the show. Just really friendly, you know, really easy to talk to. Just talking industry talk, or just talking, you know, whatever topics, just for fun. And, so we wanted to make sure that we said bye to those guys.
It's I agree. This year we had the pleasure of, you know, hanging out with manufacturer folks more so than last year. Yeah. This is only our second show as our for our website, so we're still very new. But to meet guys that, such as the Espinosa group, that's able to, you know, be open to hang out with us, right? Instead of wanting to hang out with other people. I mean, Espinosa is not like super boutique by no means, and they're also not, you know, huge like a Davidoff or a General, but they make and they produce quite a bit for themselves and other folks and other brand owners. So it's really cool to see, like, in general, when you see like cool people you can hang out with that are humble, that are fun. So we wanted to, you know, lock in that goodbye until at the latest next year, hopefully next year, IPCPR. So.
Yeah. So this video is coming out late on the day since the actual trade show ended at 1. That's just because we wanted to, you know, be able to hang out and say goodbye to people that were leaving this afternoon, this evening. You know, a lot of people fly out shortly after the show, so you know, we just wanted to be able to, you know, hang out with those guys a little bit more before they took off. So we're staying till Saturday. You know, last year we did that thing where we just kind of shows over, had an hour or so, then had to head to the airport and get out of here. So this year we changed it up a little bit, that we wanted to, you know, stay an extra day, because it's a chance to come back to the room, get this recap done, pack, you know, kind of have a nice night on that last night, sleep in the next morning, recuperate from all the short sleep days, and then kind of around midday kind of head back to the Bay Area and things like that.
One more thing. So last night, to kind of, we've been kind of talking about what we did after the show.
Sure.
So last night we hung out with the SigFed group, in addition to Mombacho group, as well as On of Drew Estate.
Yeah.
So that was fun. John Surgeon, us, Trip on the SigFed group, Logan. We all basically brought a bunch of booze to share.
Right.
And we did that at SigFed's suite.
Yeah.
They're banging it out at the Cosmo this year, and it was a fat place.
Yeah.
So it was cool to like get together. Like I view those guys as like they're buddies of ours, right? But on the media side, where it was really neat to like get together and hang out. Even today, like just before recording this video, we were talking about, hey, maybe next year we just have one night where us media folks get together and just hang out.
Yeah.
And of course, other folks are welcome. This is an exclusive thing. But just to allocate a night within the midst of all the busyness of the trade show and the after trade show events. So it's the community aspect of that is really cool.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I think it's something that I mean, we did a media dinner with Mombacho. We did a media event with Drew Estate, media dinner with in Bombay. But those are the brand owners kind of putting those things on, and you know, we're really there with them, and you know, they're kind of I don't want to say running the show, but they're putting it on. So you know, we're there as their guests, kind of thing. So maybe something more of just, you know, organized by the media, to be able to have it where, you know, there's not necessarily necessarily a theme to the evening, but just kind of a really just a chance that since we're all in the same place at the same time to hang out.
To even talk, so we even also talked about maybe next year we get together, we rent out like an Airbnb or something, house off the strip for some of the media folks.
Yeah.
That way we could hang out with each other, invite folks, you know, get in the backyard and smoke,
Right.
And hang and have some drinks. So
right.
It really is community focused. Like I know a lot of folks that watch our shows and follow us in general are cigar enthusiasts, right? Like BOTLs, SOTL. It's no different within, you know, some of us media folks that are in the industry,
right?
And then some of the manufacturers and brand owners alike.
Yep, exactly. So that's really a wrap for the trade show. I mean, it was a super fun 4 days. You know, you'll hear people say, "Oh, it's so, you know, it's so draining," and or my feet hurt and things like that. But it's a fun process. You know,
when people bitch about this kind of stuff,
yeah.
All right, listen, the trade show ends at what, 5 o'clock,
yeah,
right? And it doesn't start till 10 a.m.,
right.
10 in the morning. So technically, you could get a great dinner, sleep in, you know, all of that. But whereas us, we purposely decided to go out and have fun, which is why we slept 3 hours the last couple of nights.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's fun, right? Like it's taxing, sure, but it's fun.
Yeah.
I could only do this shit for a week.
Yeah.
Anything more than a week, I'll be absolutely asked.
Right.
Because I'm not young anymore.
Yep. So exactly.
Yeah.
So thanks for everybody that's tuned in to this one, any of the other previous day recaps. We really appreciate all the feedback. You know, we've been tweaking things here and there as we get some comments and things like that. So really appreciate all that feedback. We'll be doing a full media recap on Tuesday the 18th, 6 p.m. Pacific. We'll have Eric from Cigar Dojo, Will from Cigar Coop, and John from Cigar Federation to kind of chat about it from a media perspective on the show overall. Just kind of our thoughts on things we saw, thoughts, gripes, thoughts for next year, all that kind of stuff.
Honest feedback and opinion on how it all went for us.
Yep, exactly. And it's, you know, media point of view. So, you know, manufacturers may have a different point of view, brand owners may have another point of view, retailers may have another point of view. It's really the media point of view. We may share some thoughts that, you know, retailers or manufacturers or brand owners shared with us, but from it's all kind of that media side type of thing. So again, thank you everybody for, you know, following these videos and all your support and everything like that. You know, we love doing it. So can't wait to do it again next year after, you know, 11 and a half months of rest. So thanks a lot, and we will see you on Tuesday on the recap show. Thanks.